today I'm actually 29 weeks, and I have an appointment with Dr. Bayon with maternal fetal medicine. So we'll actually get to see the boys today, and you know, they'll measure them, and that's always the fun part, seeing how much they've grown. Hopefully they've grown a lot in the past couple of weeks, and you know, just making sure everything's still going okay. And I also have an appointment with the dietitian since I got diagnosed with gestational diabetes. So I'll meet with her, and I guess she'll go over, you know, guidelines with me. And so it'll be a pretty lengthy appointment, but hopefully it'll be worth it, and I'll get some good tips and can start eating a little bit better.
High-risk pregnancies have a greater chance of developing gestational diabetes brought on by pregnancy. Both Allie and Jana were diagnosed with the condition, which typically occurs in about 5% of pregnancies. So, doctors test early.
What's unique about pregnancy now is that every woman who is pregnant around 24 to 28 weeks of pregnancy is given what we call a glucose tolerance test to look for diabetes in pregnancy, because pregnancy is a state that basically makes us somewhat intolerant to our own insulin, and therefore, if somebody has a problem, it will show up much more readily during pregnancy.
And if they find symptoms, the women are sent to a woman's hospital dietitian who teaches them how to control their condition with diet. Women are also treated with regular exercise and, in some cases, medication, both of which Woman's continues to study for effectiveness.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, I kind of went in thinking, oh, I'm going to have to cut carbs completely and, you know, no sugar and all this stuff. So it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. I mean, of course, I still have to try to avoid the sweets, which, you know, hopefully that won't be too hard as long as I can have my carbs and, you know, just kind of spreading them out throughout the day. Everything they said made a lot of sense. And it sounds like, you know, it might make me feel better and will just be a better diet overall.
As with any multiple pregnancy, anxiety is expected. Jana explains how multiple miscarriages led her to fertility drugs and the surprise of a lifetime.
We wanted a baby, and we didn't want there to be a huge separation between the baby and Morgan. Dr. Willett knew that we were trying. She asked me, she said, do you want to try a low dose of Clomid? And all of a sudden, every worry that I had in the world was put on my shoulders at one time with one set of news. It was, there's 3.
Good morning.
Hey.
How you doing?
All right.
Feeling okay?
They're still kind of funky. Every now and then, like some days, one morning I woke up with a fasting of 132.
Okay.
And then the next one was like 110, 97.
You've been faxing them to Dr. Dykett though, huh?
I'm supposed to call him tomorrow.
Okay.
Call him every Friday.
How's the pressure? Still there.
This is, I mean, I guess I should be fortunate. This is the only complication I'm having, but excruciating in the morning.
Okay.
Like, I have to stand there, I have to throw something at my poor husband and say, wake up and make sure I don't fall, and, you know, I can't move my legs, and then
Coming for here. Shoot it down.
groin, hips,
Okay.
lower back.
Okay.
It's horrible.
Well, hang in there. So, I talked to Dr. Dykett and Dr. Sandoval, and so they said 35 weeks is around about when we need to get scheduled, okay, for the C-section. So, let's see what we've got here. We're scheduled for June 17th.
What time?
Probably 8:30 in the morning.
Oh.
Okay, so that'll
That's
give you
so
enough. You can
exciting.
take your Glyburide the night before, and then, you know, nothing to eat or drink after midnight.
So
And then
June 17th.
June 17th is your baby's birthday. Yay!
Well, it's extremely exciting because now we have something set in stone, and I've got to call 1 million people today because there is going to be a full, wild waiting room on the day these babies are born.
The genders of the babies, I honestly, Craig and I talked about it, and I kind of had like a list of what I wanted of that too. And 2 girls and a boy was at my top because I have 2 sisters, and I couldn't imagine growing up without a sister.
Laura got her wish and is carrying twin girls and a boy. However, the twins have twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome requiring special treatment from Woman's Maternal Fetal Medicine Center. And at 32 weeks, Laura was admitted to the Woman's Antepartum Unit for close observation.
Twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome is a situation that's unique to identical twins. Okay, so if we talk about just about twins, about 2/3 are fraternal or have separate eggs that are fertilized, and about 1/3 are identical twins, and that's a situation where one egg splits. In those situations, most of them share a placenta. Okay, and in the shared placenta, you can have blood vessels that anastomose, which means connect to one another between the babies. And one baby can end up sending a lot of its own blood to the other baby. And in doing so, one baby can be very anemic. It can be hypovolemic, meaning its blood volume is very low. And then the other baby that's receiving all this blood will become volume expanded, will have too much blood, and it can go into cardiac failure from that.
I ended up having to come in twice a week for ultrasounds and doctors visits, one with Dr. Dickerson and one with maternal fetal medicine.
The specialized Doppler ultrasounds monitor how fast blood is moving in the umbilical blood flow. If the blood flow is normal, it's an indication that the fetus is healthy. If the blood flow is abnormal, the fetus is under stress.
We just did an ultrasound, and Dr. Sandoval said everything was great. Their Dopplers were pretty even, and my boy Drew looked good.
So he was comfortable enough with where she was where he actually let her go home today.
After 2 weeks in the Woman's Antepartum Unit, Laura finally gets to go home. Another precaution to prevent early labor, both Laura and Jana had a cervical cerclage. This is a procedure in which the cervix is stitched closed because the weight of the fetus and the amniotic fluid can cause the cervix to dilate and lead to preterm labor and delivery. And when it comes to multiple babies, nothing is predictable.